It is starting with our top story. Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese is visiting Rajghat. He is paying his tribute to Mahatma Gandhi, and this comes after he visited the Rashtrapati Bhavan and hailed India as a close partner with Prime Minister Modi. Major Muhammad Ali Shah, defense expert, joins us on the show to give his take on this important visit. Ali, a very good morning to you.
Morning, Vineet.
Ali, what do you make of this growing proximity between India and Australia? Obviously, when it comes to strategy, Australia echoes our views on China. But at the same time, trade is something that Australia definitely needs a hand with. They've been trying to cut the umbilical cord with China, and the next obvious destination for that gap is India.
Absolutely, Vineet. Firstly, we have the Australian Prime Minister. When he came to India, he and Prime Minister Narendra Modi, they went to Gujarat and they saw the match over there in the Narendra Modi Stadium. We have a very, very good Indian ambassador to Australia, Manpreet Vohra, a very bright IFS officer. In fact, he had been the ambassador of Peru. So now, when India and Australia, their ties, we have a lot of Indians studying and working in Australia. We have a lot of Australians in India, in fact, as well. So yes, the ties are growing and the bond is only strengthening, Vineet. Unlike many nations where, like for example, I don't mean to compare ourselves with a downtrodden nation like Pakistan, but Pakistan is actually falling apart with all its friends like China, Saudi Arabia, all the Muslim Middle East countries. Also, they are falling apart. But on the other hand, on the contrary, India's relationships, India's diplomatic ties with several countries are growing. With Australia, in fact, our trade is growing. Our education, our exchange programs with them are growing. And certainly, China also acted funny with Australia in a way by making friends with Solomon Islands, and which had a pact with Australia earlier. So that affected the Australians as well in a large way. But India has always there to help everyone out. And Australia and India, it's give and take. It's unconditional. Our relationship with Australia is, I see it as strengthening even further in the days to come, Vineet.
Ali, what do you think is going to be, the way forward going ahead with Australia when it comes to our, cultural connection? Australia understands it, but when it comes to the welfare of our citizens, there have been some issues and misunderstandings in Australia. Do you think that is also something that should feature in our list of priorities?
Well, yes, we need to see recently what happened. Our Foreign Minister, Mr. Jaishankar, was in Australia just a few days back, and that's the time there was attack on Indian students in Australia. And should he have addressed it? Yes, he should have, and he did. In fact, subtly in a way, but the motive, the purpose of his visit at that time was totally different, and he stuck to his aim. I'll give a small analogy with this, Vineet, and I will so everyone to understand. See, because I will give a very different analogy. On the borders, we patrol the areas, right? When we meet an enemy patrol, if we're going for a recce patrol, we are wrecking that area. Our motive is different. So if you see the enemy, do we fire upon the enemy upon seeing them? No. We will gather all the inputs and give it to our higher ups, to our headquarters to execute what the actual motive was. Similarly, when our External Affairs Minister had gone to Australia, he stuck to his aim. And yes, we should take up the matter where the Khalistanis, the so-called Khalistanis were not successful in Canada. They were not successful in Punjab. That's a different thing. We threw them out. We would not allow it to happen on our soil. So they tried that in Canada. Then they tried expanding the wings to Australia. But again, I just complimented Mr. Manpreet Vohra, the Indian ambassador there. So I think he is the right man to actually create that bridge. And I think I commend the Indian government for putting the right man in the right place for the right job, in fact. So I've known Mr. Manpreet Vohra personally. We've done theatre together in our days. And so knowing him personally and closely, I can tell you, I can vouch for with conviction that such a golden opportunity with the right man is there, is definitely going to be a very, very beneficial for both the nations, Vineet.